Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cat Clone series. It's actually been a while, and thank you all for the incredible support on this series thus far. Today we're going to be talking about all the Cow Cat clones. And one quick thing before we start, I am a little bit sick, so if I sound a little funny, please take that up with my immune system for absolutely fumbling the bag. If you haven't watched the other parts of the series, you should definitely check them out. And without further ado, here's all the Cow Cat clones in the Battle Cats.
Meow, meow. I'm a cow. I said meow, meow. I'm a cow.
Cow Princess is first up, and she's a rare cat who was introduced in version 2.0.6 as part of the Princess Punch Sweets collab, where you can obtain her in the collab's Gacha banner. At level 10, she evolves into Giraffe Princess. Cow Princess is basically just a better version of Cow Cat, with the both of them having very similar stats, but Cow Princess having more than 2 times the damage as Cow Cat, as well as having slightly more range. Cow Princess also has the added bonus of dealing massive damage to black enemies, which makes her act as a sort of rusher for black enemies. This doesn't really help her since there aren't many black enemies that need to be rushed down besides like Tacky, and that's it. So usually setting out Cow Princess will just lead to her running into her own demise against black enemies. Her only real use against black enemies would be in the early game to kill Dark Doges in early SOL, so you're better off just using her as a Cow Cat replacement when grinding for treasures or speedrunning stages. Her significantly more damage allows her to hold her ground against Lion Cat, but at level 36 and onward, Lion Cat will deal more damage than her, so until your Lion Cat reaches that level, Cow Princess is a good replacement for it. Crazed Cow Cat is a super rare cat introduced in version 2.2.3, who is obtained from beating the Crazed Cow event stage, which is available on the 15th and 27th of every month. Crazed Cow, just like the other Crazed Cats, is a direct upgrade to its original counterpart. Crazed Cow has more health, damage, and speed compared to the regular Cow Cat. This higher speed and attack allows him to speedrun treasure grinding as well as getting time rewards better than the original Cow Cat. Crazed Cow received a true form, Manic Lion Cat, in version 5.0 that can be obtained from beating the Cow Maniac event stage, which is also available on the 15th and 27th of every month. This true form increases Crazed Cow's speed from 50 to 66, which allows it to be a better rusher. Once again, you can use him to speedrun stages for treasure grinding or timed rewards, but he can also be useful outside of that. He excels when rushing into enemies' blind spots like Delphina, Henry, or Mr. Mole. Let's check out one of his best performances in the stage, the Sonic Crew, which is a stage featuring Mr. Mole and Delphina. Both of these enemies have blind spots, which Manic Lion can rush into and deal a lot of damage. As a result, he completely destroys the stage. Aside from LD enemies, he'll mostly be your go-to speedrun unit. Kieran Cat Kieran, oh my god, that name is so peak, is a special cat that was introduced in version 4.2 as part of the Monster Hunter collab. It could be obtained from the event gacha during the collab. He is the evolved form of Kieran Cat, who I actually talked about in the Cat Clones video. Kieran Cat works similarly to the basic cat but has worse stats in exchange for resistance to floating. This resistance to floating is pretty much useless since he already has low HP, so even with the resistance, he's still gonna get one shot. At level 10, he evolves into Kieran Cat Kieran, who keeps the resistance to floating. This cat has lower health and attack compared to the regular Giraffe cat, and the resistance to floating is not enough to make up for it. The only enemy the resistance would be useful for is Muth, but as you progress, stronger floating enemies like Brawler or Owlbrow will just one-shot him even with the resistance. This cat has barely any reason to be used besides the previously mentioned early game Muths, but don't worry, because this cat is exclusive to the Japanese version, and as of making this video, the Monster Hunter collab has not returned, making this cat completely unobtainable as of now. Lil Cow Cat is a special cat introduced in version 4.5 and can be obtained from the Lucky Capsules. Lil Cow Cat, just like the other Lil Cats, has worse stats compared to its original counterpart, so there's no real reason to use Lil Cow Cat besides like the cat combos, I guess. Anyways, things start to look better for him in the true form, Lil Lion Cat, who was added in version 5.10 and can be unlocked by beating Lil Cow Awakens, which is available on the 14th of every month. This true form doubles his damage and quadruples his health, as well as giving him immunity to waves. The wave immunity ain't that bad, since it lets him work in wave stages on 4-star restrictions without having to spend NP on other anti-wave cats like Lil Mohawk or Catly. And speaking of 4-star restrictions, Lil Lion Cat actually helped me a lot when clearing floor 49 of Heavenly Tower on the 4-star series. If you haven't watched that series, you totally should, by the way. In version 12.3, he received talents, and these are pretty bad. He gets Shield Pierce, which is 10% at max level, cost down, which makes him go down to 450 cost at max level, immunity to surge, health buff, and attack buff. The stat buffs aren't really important, since he isn't used for his stats. Shield Piercing sounds like it'd be really cool because of his speed and rapid attacks, but his speed isn't fast enough to get a lot of attacks in, and 10% Shield Pierce isn't very reliable. He also has single target, so there's the possibility of him piercing the wrong shield. Immunity to Surge is supposed to help him with shield piercing, but it doesn't save him because of the flaws I just talked about. The talents are also way too expensive for what they do, so you should only unlock them if you are desperate and don't have any better anti-shield. Giraffe Unit 01 is a rare cat introduced in version 6.10 as part of the Evangelion collab and can be obtained from beating any stage in the 9th Angel Strikes. Giraffe Unit 01 has lower health than Cowcat but has higher speed and range, as well as a 50% chance to survive a lethal strike. This survive doesn't really mean much, since he's just going to run back into the enemies and get killed. There isn't much of a reason to use him, since he gets easily replaced once you unlock Lion Cat or Crazed Cowcat, who both have better stats than Giraffe Unit 01. The only real reason you would use him is for very early 4-star SOL if you don't have any other Rusher units. At level 10, he evolves into Giraffe Unit 02, which doesn't improve any stats, so you choose which one you prefer. Akuma Giraffe is a rare cat introduced in version 8.10.5 as part of the Street Fighter collab, and this thing is super cursed. It has Akuma's head on the body of Giraffe Cat, which creates this absolute monstrosity. Akuma Giraffe can be obtained from beating Akuma and has wave immunity, LD, and strong against traitless. The immunity to waves is pretty neat, but the previous entry, Lil Lion Cat, is way better at being a wave immune rusher. Taking a look at his stats, his speed makes you think that he would be a good rusher, but the LD messes him up by giving him a blind spot. He also has an attack rate of 1.5 seconds, which makes it so that he has lower DPS than the regular Giraffe Cat. Regular Giraffe is also just better at being a rusher since he can actually, hit the enemies in front of him. The strong against traitless seems like it was just slapped on there with no second thought, since I can't really think of any time that you would use him besides like your first encounter with Corey, and that's if you're very desperate. At level 10, he evolves into Akuma Lion, which doesn't change any stats, so you choose which one you prefer, although they are both absolute nightmare fuel. Catara Moki is a special cat introduced in version 10.10 as part of the JRA collab event, and can be obtained from the gacha banner during the event. This cat works like the Cat Academy units in the way that his max level is level 1, and the only way to level him up further is through plus levels. Even at his max level, level 31, he has worse stats than Giraffe Cat. In exchange for the worst stats, he has strong against red, which does not make up for it. He's supposed to be like an anti-red rusher, but just like Cow Princess, there aren't any enemies in this trait that need to be rushed down besides like Hacky, Reynard. That's it. He also has immunity to freeze, which is very random to just throw in, since there aren't many freezing red enemies besides like DNL, CTO, and Dark Emperor Santa, which Catara Moki isn't even good against. This cat gets completely outclassed by Crazed Cow, even against red enemies. There's no real reason to use this cat besides his cat combo, which isn't even that great. At level 10, he evolves into Saruma Catara Moki, which doesn't change any stats, so you choose which one you prefer. Tomboy Lion Cat is a special cat introduced in version 11.3 as part of the Heartbeat Cat Academy event, and can be obtained from the event capsules during the event. He has slightly worse stats compared to the regular Lion Cat, and to make matters worse, his leveling functions similarly to our previous entry, with him being capped out at level 1, and only being able to be leveled up through plus levels. To try to make up for this garbage, he has strong against black enemies. The health buff from the strong effect doesn't help him since he's supposed to be a rusher, but the attack buff does. However, it's not enough to do anything meaningful because of the lack of black enemies that need to be rushed down. And if you remember, our first entry, Cow Princess, actually does massive damage to black enemies and has better stats, so Tomboy Lion gets completely outclassed by Cow Princess. The only real reason you would use him is for his cat combo, however that does include a unit that costs real money, so most players won't have this combo since ain't nobody trying to spend that money on this garbage. Brainwash Cow Cat is a super rare cat introduced in version 11.6. It can be obtained from the rare cat capsules during the seasonal gacha banners. Taking a look at his stats, you can see that he gets outclassed by Crazed Cow, but hold up, he has a pretty cool ability. Brainwash Cow has an 100% chance to curse Black and Aku enemies for 1 second. Although 1 second sounds pretty bad, you gotta remember that he attacks every 0.33 seconds, meaning that this curse effect has 100% uptime. Unfortunately, there aren't many Aku or Black enemies that need to be cursed, but he still has some uses here and there, like disabling Okame's knockback ability, or the Deliverance Freeze. In version 12.7, he received the true form, Brainwash Lion Cat, that can be unlocked from beating the Malevolent Cow, and this true form decreases his knockbacks from 5 to 2, and increases his curse duration. This increased curse duration isn't anything important, since his curse was already permanent, but decreasing his knockback count is pretty nice, since it allows him to curse enemies with less trouble. Well, there you have it. That's all the Cow Cat clones in the Battle Cats. Just like all the other episodes in this series, let me know if I missed any in the comments. This time I think I actually probably missed a couple because 9 clones just doesn't seem right. The next clones video will be about Bird Cat, Fish Cat, and Lizard Cat since they have very little clones each, and we'll save the final episode for the Titan Cat clones because there's quite a lot of them actually. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you watched this far, then you're a real one. So comment real one, and as always, I will heart your comments. And I'd like to give a major thanks to all the channel members. Thank you so much, Cactus ZYH, Flavio Morgita, Glitterbutt Outlaw 48, Chocolate Bar Cat, Recco, Ola Person, Bane Daughter of Chaos, Rosemary, Nap, Papa Luca Ball, Susan Bequeeze, Leafa Blocks, OSKYR, JWrath123, Joey the Dude Guy, Axolotl, Grum, Denise Dropper, Kami13, Capsule PL, Some Guy 3466, Kubu Getchmer, Cruel Krakus, Jimmy, Garlic Gamer, Adark, Mr. Dan, Hasi Vivi, Bander, Garden147, Kokole, DJoy Wang, Dora Animates, Keto Prince Up, M Dark, and Rosewade Gaming for being channel members. And thank all of you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next Clones video.